Virginie, t'es prête?
Sorry?
Okay.
Ah, algunos se fueron al baño.
Ah, okay. Okay. Yeah, but we have to start. We will start slowly, so we let people go to the bathroom. Hello, my name is Julie. I'm with Flore. And this talk is a demonstration of how you can contribute right now in GitHub if you want to contribute to READMEs, to the modules documentation. Because we know, we talked in the last talk about all the options we have, but right now we can contribute, and we need to be able to do it. So you will find on the website, I don't know if you have it here. Do you have the
steps?
Yeah. You have on the website, on the how-to guides, on the OCA website, we added a new section, modules documentation, where you can find all the steps to contribute to modules documentation in GitHub. So what we are showing you today, it's written in a good documentation on the website. So you can come back to it if you don't remember some steps, or if you're alone at home and you want to write a documentation, so you will keep it in mind. You have to go on to
We can do it right now.
Yeah. So I have my student here today. Flore is going to learn how to do it, so I will guide her as I will guide you in the afternoon.
So I'm new. I know that there is an Odoo Community Association, and I entered into the website, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to find this. And now?
Now you go to the resource menu.
Okay.
How-to guides.
Okay. So there's a lot here. I didn't know about the existence of this.
Yeah, this page was made like mainly for the developers, but now we added a new icon in modules documentation.
Great. So I click here.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you have three sections: the README structure and the README guidelines, which will be addressed in the next talk. And you have the how to contribute in GitHub, which is the theme of this talk. So if you go into this documentation, you will have step-by-step explanation of how to do it. We didn't put into the steps the step that you need to file the OCA. How do we say it? You know, when you sign the paper that says that your contribution. Yeah, the CLA. Yeah, we didn't put it in the documentation that you need to sign the CLA, but it's obvious for the OCA. So.
Okay.
CLA, it's a document where you sign, and can you explain?
No, I don't know. It's like something that you are saying that you agree with all the terms and conditions within the OCA to put code, for example, or changing things. I don't know.
We were not like,
sure.
It was not sure because it's really new to have functional contributions, but we said, okay, but if the developers, they signed it, why not us? Sorry for you. You can go to the bathroom.
The thing, maybe we can ask Stefan. He is going, maybe when we see him, he is going to tell us. But I don't think so, because I put like 2 PRs, and I never signed them. Okay. But I'm not sure. I don't want to. But well, we'll see.
Yeah.
So to go with this, I mean, I know that I have this guy, but I have you here.
Yes.
And I did my homework, and I follow all the guidelines that Manuel later on is going to tell about how do I have to write a README. So in a doc, that is the more usual way, I put all the parts and what I want to write within the OCA module, but I don't know how to put that in GitHub. So maybe you can help me, right?
Yes. So she already has the documentation written, you know, in a Google Doc, but she has to put it in GitHub, so she has to contribute to the README. So the first step you need to, for sure, you need to have an account on GitHub. So you will need to go in GitHub and connect to your account.
Exactly, I already did.
Okay, good. So we are here. Let's find the module you want to contribute to.
Okay, so I know that the module is within this repo, the bank statement import. I chose this module because I use it a lot. Maybe the main idea at the beginning is to do the documentation for modules that everyone uses, but wait, this is what I know. So I am entering to the repo right now, and I know that the module is here, and let's do it in the 17 version, right? Because maybe it's better now if we are going to collaborate, try to use the modules in this version. Well, next week we will have 18, but in the latest version, I mean, try to not to upgrade documentation of modules in version 10, right?
Yes, yeah, the main idea for the contribution, we want to contribute on 16 or 17, but last year we talked about changing the template of the README, the files, into Markdown files, and this change has been put in place for the version 17. So if you want to do it easier, you go with the version 17 because all the README files will be in Markdown.
Great, so, yeah.
The description will be replicated in the next version automatically? Or?
Yes, when they migrate a module, the README follows. Yes.
Yes, but if you, for example, make a contribution in version 16 and the module is already there for version 17, I think that you have to put in place a forward port, right? If the module is already in another version.
Can you repeat that?
That if you have, for example, you have the same module in version 16 and 17 already, you can use both. And you change the README only in version 16, then I think that you need a forward port to put the README in version 17 because the module already exists. So the idea is, for example, if you want to have something in version 18, work today in her workshop in order to have the README updated for the next version because we do not have it yet.
Yes, if the module exists in other versions, the README will not be updated in the other versions. But if you migrate the module, then it will follow.
Exactly. So I'm in the repo and have here my module, which is this one. So now what I do? What do I do?
Okay, from here, the easiest way, you can contribute here, but it's really, the problem is, not the problem, but the way OCA works, you cannot edit directly into the branch, the main branch. So you need to have a copy of the repository into your repository, and then you do the changes. So you don't make mistake and change something already in place. So you work on a copy first, and then you will push your changes to the main branch, so to the main DOCA repository. So to do that, you will need to fork the repository.
So I'm seeing that here the button says fork.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to click fork.
Yes.
And now I create a fork.
Yes, and you can see that copy the 16 branch only. This is what we want. Ah, no, you want the 17.
Okay. Yes. So what is 14, the 16.
Maybe because it's the main branch.
Ah,
So you can use the arrow, create a new fork. Oh no, it's creating the 16.
I don't know why.
No, it's,
You can create
the main branch is 16, and whether you will create the 16
Yeah.
branch only, or you will create like
all the branches. So
branches for fork.
yeah, you just uncheck this one,
Okay, great.
and then you create the fork.
Excellent. This is why it's really hard for functionals. You see? I mean,
You know, when I start to talk like fork repositories, and she was looking at me like, what?
I mean, following her guide, I made my first PR that is already merged, but it's hard.
Yeah. So you did the fork?
Yes, and I have all the branches, so I was able to choose the 17.
Okay. Maybe you did it a little bit fast. How can you access the branch you just forked? The repository you fork, where do you find it? Can you show us?
Yes, because you already told me. You can go to your user, yes, and I go to this section that is your repositories, I mean my repositories. And here you can see all that I forked before. So, for example, yesterday I was working in this repository, the stock logistic warehouse, but now I have the bank statement import. And if I click, I can see that I have this repo forked from OCA bank statement import repo.
Good. So then you can change the branch because we want to work in the 17 version. So you click on the branch icon, and then you select 17. Okay. From here, we will not be using this interface to do the changes. We will be using the web interface of GitHub, which you can access by tapping on your keyboard the what's point in English? Dot. The dot key on your keyboard, just as you can see on the documentation we put in GitHub.
Yes, so what I'm doing is I'm here and I click the keyboard and magic happens within GitHub.
Maybe your browser has some restrictions about opening like some pop-ups and something, so you have to allow it to do it so it can open like this.
Yeah. Just for you to know, when you click the dot, what you are doing is to change in the URL, you are changing the .com by .dev, and this is what is opening right now. It's like a shortcut, clicking the dot.
Yes. So why do we use this web editor instead of the usual interface? It's easy. It's the only way to add images and to create new files. Maybe I want to write documentation on an existing module, and it doesn't have the file context, and I want to create this file. So I will need to go through this interface to be able to do it.
Exactly.
So now, just a little bit explanation. You have the explorator that you can see all the modules of the repository, and then you can choose the module you want to work on. So Flor just did that with the account statement import sheet file. And then you have all the folders into this module. A module is structured by folders and files. So the folder that we are interested in is the README folder. So you will find the README folder, and then when you open it, you have different files. Like I said, maybe some files are not already available, so we will be able to create some more. So we can have, now for this module, we have configure file, contributors, description, history, and usage. So that's good, because sometimes we only have description and contributors. So that's good. But maybe there's not a lot of information into those files. So I don't know what you want to do, so I will let you continue.
Okay, so what I did in my doc is that I want to change the description. I create a content and context in which I'm going to say in which business case you can use this module and how is the approach that this module is taking to address that business case. Then I have the configuration step in which I add a lot of images in order to help people to use it. And at the end, I have the usage itself. So I want to populate these 4 sections within GitHub.
Okay, let's start with the description, which the file already exists.
Okay.
So you can open the file by clicking on it. It will open on the right side. So you have a tab with the name of the file, and you can see the content. So this is the content of the file right now. She wants to change this content, so she can just copy-paste the information. And this is Markdown format. So you can use, if you already know how to use Markdown, you can just do it. But if you don't know, you can learn, and you have a lot of tools. We put the link into the documentation to show you how you can use it. But it's really simple to learn and to remember. So you don't need to go to the documentation every time you need to use Markdown. So, but maybe she wants to put some text in bold or add some formatting.
Or bullets.
Bullets, yeah. So she can do it, but the thing is, how can she see the result? So you can open in this interface a preview tab that will show you in Markdown, like the result in Markdown formatting. So now we can see, how did you do it?
I'm going to close this. So within the tab, I have these buttons, and I click the one with the search icon. I don't know the name in English, sorry.
Yeah, me neither, but you understand?
In English,
yeah.
And I automatically open this new tab, which is called, sorry, in English, preview, and then the name of the section, the file within the module.
So now you can work on your text, you can do some formatting, and you can see the result right on the preview tab.
Exactly. So now we can continue with the next section, the context. So I'm going to copy what I've already done, and okay, I do not have the context section.
So the context file doesn't exist. So we need to create it. So we go into the Explorator section, and you need to click on the folder README, and then you have a right click. You can do right click, and then it's a nuevo archivo is new file.
Sorry.
So yeah. And when you name the files are in the template that OCA has put in place. The name of the files of the README folder are all in capitals. And then so the name of the file is context. If you don't know that, you have that information in the documentation. We will talk about it later with the structure and the guidelines. So you will have this information.
Exactly. You can also check it when you enter to the OCA GitHub. You will have pinned here a repository called Maintainer Tools. And here you have the template/module section. And here you have all the template for all the folders, not only the README, but you also have the README one. And you will see all the sections names, and if you enter, you will see what is expected to have in each section. That is what Manuel is going to talk about in the next talk. It is important that I think that you follow this template, because if you do not put the right name to the file, I think then it's not going to compile in the right way in order to show it when you enter to the module that you have all the information below. It's not going to work, okay? So it's important to try to follow this.
Yes. So now we have a context file which we can work on. Floshi just clicked on the file, so it opened. As we can see, the active tab is context.md, markdown. So now you can copy your information. Do you need to, yeah, easy. Do you need to do some formatting or?
Not in this one. In the next one, I need to apply the bullets.
Okay, good. So next step.
So let's go with the configure part. So here I have to put the bullet here, and I also want to put an image. So I go like with, what is best, to put the image before, or I can put the text and then the image?
When you have images to insert, when you do the copy paste, it won't paste. So, oh, maybe it will not. No, it will not. So it's easier to just take the text, and then you add your image, and then you copy the next text, and then you add the image. I like to do it like this, or you just put all the text, and then you just put all the images like you want.
Okay. So first we can put all the images within GitHub.
Yes, we can do it. Okay, if you have some images, you will need to put those into the right folder, which is the static folder. You can find it just under security folder. So when you open it, that's where all the images are put. So now, if you want to add a file into this folder, you can do it by drag and drop.
Okay. So I have all the images here. These are all the ones that I want to put in the README. I have 5 for the configuration section, and 3 for the usage section.
Okay.
So I can drag and drop.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm holding the click and I drop it here.
Yes. Okay. So now we can see all your images into the static folder.
Great. So I now go back to the configure section. I follow the step that I did before. Okay. So, for example, here I miss the numbers. So I can, okay, so it put all the text in another place when I click the number on the bottom. That is Markdown tips, right?
Yes. When you use a numbered list in Markdown, you just use like the 1 dot, 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dots, and the formatting will be automatic.
Okay. So, and if I want, I can use bold or the cursive, right?
Yes.
Okay. But not for now. Now I want to add an image.
Okay. That's the tricky part. Okay, so the images are already in the static folder. So you can add those into your file by drag and drop, but you will need to press the Shift key and then drag and drop.
So first I click the image. No,
No.
yeah, not easy. I click the shift in the keyboard.
Yes.
Then I click with the mouse, and now, no, what I'm doing wrong? No la arrastro.
Is it shift or control? I'm always mixed with this.
Control, okay.
No,
No,
it says shift. I was okay. Yeah.
Pero no lo mueve.
That's why I said it's the tricky one. When you don't have a mouse, it's really tricky to do it.
Mouse.
Yes.
Let's see. No tengo igual, pero I have one there. But yesterday I did it. So tricky.
Yeah.
No, then let's click. Left click, right? Not right one. No. Tengo uno ahí.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It happens with live demo. Okay, let's try again. You need to open the file on the right, the configure file, and then shift,
No,
drag and drop. It doesn't work?
no. ¿Será que porque lo pusimos acá en vez de
No?
Ah,
It's on the description?
no, no está aquí.
Okay.
But maybe we can use, like, there is kind of a code within Markdown in order to put it.
Oh yes, you can write, you can use the format, the Markdown format for an image, and then you can just write the link to the image.
It's like this one.
Yes.
And the URL is este acá.
Maybe you can use my documentation to have an example.
Wait. And so we're in this part.
Yes. So you can go down. In the second screenshot, you have sales order line menu, which is the alternate text, and then you have the URL you can use.
Here, easy. It's helping me.
Yes, that's good.
And I have the images here.
Yes, you
That's
can
right.
see the image. Woohoo! So that's why I was saying it's a little bit tricky with the drag and drop, but you can you have an alternate way to do it, which is writing it like by yourself.
So now I can move faster. And I
Yes.
can, for example, because I put names that are really similar, I can change here the name, and I have now the second image. Great. So let's do this. Okay, so now I want the bullets.
Okay. So you can use how do you say it? Ash? Dash. No.
Okay. Oh,
Yes, that's it.
great. Let's see.
I told you Markdown was easy.
The good thing about this is that you can Google everything also, right?
You can what?
Google everything.
Yes, you can Google everything.
Yeah. Great. Name there. Excellent. And now we put the next Sorry, this is a really complicated module with a lot of But that's why we need the documentation. So now and I also have bullet here. And another image. So let's copy again. Great, now is the image 3. Sorry, I'm going fast because we have already seen this. Four. And 5, both together. Great, so we finished the configuration file. I think it looks okay.
Okay, good.
And now we go with the usage.
Great. So you remember, you go into, you open your file under the README folder. Usage is already there. It has some content which we will be replacing.
Great. So let's do the same steps again.
One or E? Okay, no, it's okay.
And then we add the image. I'm going to copy what we put in configuration. But this one is called great. And we are almost finished. I should have chosen an easier one, right? Sorry. But we have an hour, so. This is 4. This is 5. Almost there. Done.
Good. So are you ready? Everything you wanted to put into the documentation module is there?
For now, yes. Maybe someone can improve it later, or maybe I can add more information, but for now it's okay.
Okay. Maybe you could also, you know, when you add an image, it's a good practice to add an alternate text. She didn't put it because we didn't want to take the time today, but yeah, it will be an improvement to go and put some alternate text for the image, because if it doesn't show for any reason, then the person who's reading the documentation will see the alternate text instead of the image. But we want to do it like a little bit faster for you, so we go to the next step. Okay, when you're ready, if you can see on the left, you have some buttons, and then we can see one with the icon of a branch, which has the number 12. 12 is the number of changes she has done to the files. So if you click on this button, you will arrive into the control. Control de código.
I don't know the name.
I don't know in English too. It's in the documentation. But anyway, you can see all the changes that have been made. It's source control in English. So you have the source control, and then it's where you send all your changes into the OCA process of creating a PR. So this is where The magic happens. Okay, so we have, in the OCA, we have some rules and good practices about commits. A commit is one change that you did, and then you send it. And all the commits together, they formed a PR, a pull request. Okay? So when you name your commit and or pull request, we want to use some of the basic structure that has been used in the code world of Odoo. So it's not only OCA, it comes right from Odoo, the good practices about the naming. So here we have an example. So we use between the brackets EMP for improve, because when we work on README, on documentation, it's just an improvement of the modules. It's not, we don't add new module, it's always an improvement. So you will always use the IMP. So IMP, and then the convention is to put the name of the module, and then take create a sentence like, what did you do? So you improve the README. So you can just create your comment.
Okay, so I go to this part,
Yes.
and I put imp for improvement, the module name, and then something about what I'm doing. Like
Yes.
in the example I saw, for example, improve README.
Yes, it's okay.
Okay.
Good.
And now I have to click the commit and push.
Yes, but let's check the arrow just on the left, on the right, sorry. And what are your options?
Continue working on.
Okay, no, it's okay. So you can, yes, you can confirm your changes, and then you just close your eyes and you wish it will work. No, it's okay.
So let's go.
Yes, let's go. Okay, so when you can see that the branch icon, the button, doesn't have anymore the 12 numbers, so it means that the changes has been pushed. They are not ready to be pushed. They have been pushed into commits. So here we are finished with this interface. You can come back into the normal interface. You just open another tab. That's what I do. But you can also change the .dev for .com into the URL to change the interface. And then you will see that this branch is one commit ahead, which is a commit. You can open it.
Here?
Yes. If you want to see if it's yours. Oh yeah, it's yours. Okay, good.
And here on green, I can see all the changes that I've done, right?
Yes.
Great.
Woohoo!
We
We did it. Okay, if you come back. Usually, okay, because you are still in your repository.
Exactly.
Okay, we want to go to see the changes into the OCA repository because we don't want to continue to work on our copy. We sent the changes into the OCA repository. So now you will need to go into OCA repository.
But I have to open a PR, or this is already in...
Oh, no, yes. Sorry, I forgot a step.
I mean, what I've done before is to send from the editor, to create the commit, but the commit is still in my branch, in my repository, not yet in the OCA repository.
Yeah.
Because
My mistake.
at the beginning we forked, so what I did is to move everything to my repository to work on there. I'm not working in the OCA repository. So I click here
Yes.
in open pull request.
So it will take the name you have already put into your commit as the title.
Okay. And I can leave it like this, right? Or there is
Yes.
okay.
No?
I have to put a branch.
Oh, sorry, we forgot the branch.
And where do you find all the changes you've made and that are waiting for you creating the PR?
Here, let's go back at the beginning.
Yeah.
If, for example, we were in the editor before, right? So then I go to check my repositories, and I can see that, for example, if I enter to this one, that it was the one that I was working, now GitHub is showing me this tab that I was not seeing before, how that I have like a contribution pending to make, right? I'm looking at the developer to help me. But yes, now you can see, and as Julie said before, you can check if that contribution is yours, yes. But the good thing is that in the how-to guide, you can see the convention about putting the branch because you did it.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes I forget things.
So the idea...
Don't worry. Later we'll come and fix it for you.
Okay. So the thing is that I left...
Yeah, just now you have another tab opened.
Here.
No, not this one. Oh, yes,
this
yes,
one.
yes.
So the idea here is to put the branch, and this one was 17, like this, right? Let me check the how to. Yes, great. And some text.
Read me.
Thank you. And now I can create a pull request.
Yes.
So great. So if you can see here, we are not anymore in my repository. We are in the OCA repository. We can see it also in the URL. You can follow that. So within the OCA organization, we are in the bank statement import repository, and we just create the pool number 724. So this is the pull request that I create into the OCA GitHub in order to change the README. And apparently, Alexei is the maintainer, so the bot is helping me and ask him to review it in order to merge it. And once merged, everyone is going to be able to see the great README that Gonzalo, not me, wrote.
That's good.
So that would be all.
Yes, congratulations.
Yay.
Okay, now it's your turn.
We don't have more documentation than by functionals, by the way.
Yeah.
The microphone maybe for the questions?
If there are any, I don't know.
Can you put-
Is there a way? Okay. Is there a way to see the modules where the description, configuration have been made? Just to see, yes, just like a dashboard where you can see the modules that have a good configuration, that have a good description, and the one which we are supposed to work on it?
Well, no, it's, if I understood your question, you're asking if there's a place where you can find the list of the modules that has a good documentation, like revised and complete, and where you have the others. No, we don't have this kind of tool right now. But yes, it could be great. It was one discussion we had in the other talks, like maybe having a rating of the documentations. But yes, for the moment, we don't have a place where you can find good documentation.
No, what you will be able to see, and maybe we can explain it with another module, manual assigned, not workflow, no, sorry, is warehouse, this one. When you enter to a module within GitHub or within the shop, the website shop, what you will see for a module is here all the information. And as you can see for this module, you have the description, the context, the usage. For example, this one is more complete. This is what we were mentioning before, that you need to put the right names to the files in order to GitHub to compile everything and put all the files together into one screen, as you can see here. This module has all the README folder, and all the files, but you can see everything compiled here. But it's not that we have checked this module has bad documentation and this one has good one in order for you to start working. But if you want to collaborate, most of them now needs help. So.
Yeah, and like Simone was saying just before, the OCA is complex. There's a lot of repositories, there's a lot of modules, and a lot of branches. So it's a big work to do to identify which modules have a good documentation and which are to work on. So.
Yeah, I have two questions. The first thing is to thank you for all the advances that are making on the functional side. It's very important to make OCA more accessible to more people, so thank you for that. The first question is, the process is a complex process, so if you increase price, you get less quantity. So have you thought about like an intermediate step on having maybe a Google Doc or whatever for people to contribute and to work on the documentation, and then a couple of power users that can do this in order to get it into the README, to reduce the friction and to get a lot of more people to be able to contribute and not to put this on the middle? That's the first question.
Yes.
And the second question is, are we planning to have like some kind of a way to put different weights to the modules? Because I'm sure that we have 5,000 modules, but I'm sure that 80% of the usage is in 100 modules maybe. So if it's difficult to work on documentation, it's more difficult if you're not focused on the ones that provide more value. So that's the two questions.
Well, regarding the first question, as we talked before, for example, for the alternative of the wiki, is not an option that the OCA likes, but maybe, and we haven't thought about that, is to put a place, put a doc, for example, and maybe everyone can put information there, and then some of us that can do it fast. I mean, one, if you know, you can take like 15 minutes to put a PR, but you need to know. So maybe we can do that in the middle, in order to people that do not even have a GitHub account can put information that they already have in their own documentation for their clients. So that would be maybe a good idea to see if that works. And regarding the second one, I'm not aware if the OCA, maybe Virginie, knows something about how the modules are being used right now, or how many people is using the modules.
We are lacking the data. So I am on my way to find how how the modules are used. I sent an email to a lot of PSC to get what OCA modules they are using in their own customers' database, and I'm trying to get the information. It's a manual process right now, but just because we need this data for next other stuff.
Right, but what I'm saying is maybe if you get connected with the API of GitHub, you can get forks and stars, and you can get like a ranking of how many people are using the modules. They are forking, they are downloading.
problem of using this kind of stats is that it's not real. I mean, there's a lot of people that's using the modules, and we don't know they are doing it. We also we have repositories with 20 or 30 modules inside it, with completely different backgrounds and ideas, and so on. For example, financial tools. We can find there from accounting loans, on how to transmit invoices, something really different. And so we cannot check information with this. Also, we cannot check by the pull request done, because there are some modules that are used widely, like job queue. That's a module that is used for a lot of people, but doesn't have so many changes because it has been stable for a long time. So it's not easy to know how many people uses it unless we all do a work and go there and say to the OCA, we are using this module. We know that Odoo knows for a lot of databases because they are farming this information mainly on the enterprise editions, because you need to send all this data, but not on the OCA.
Right, but what I'm saying is like, you're based on consumption, you're based on forks, not on commits or PRs, but on consumption, on downloads. And I think that a bad prioritization is better than not having a prioritization, because otherwise you cannot.
I'm sure you need a prioritization, and it's needed, and it's something that we need to do. But I think it's not correctly done if we do it by the number of PRs or whatever. I would prefer to have a small survey sent to all the contributors or main companies and just ask people for their the modules that they are using.
Right, but I think that the problem with that is like you're going to go to the ecosystem that already are close to OCA, but there's a lot of people that are not close to OCA that are using the.
Yes, but we are. I mean, you want to have a choice, become part of the ecosystem, become a member. Right. Yeah. You want to choose. You want to choose. You want to have a voice, right. Become a member. It's easy.
About reality.
Yeah, yes, I know, but it's an association. Right. It's an association. It's made by members. So, in my opinion, we need to listen them. We don't need to listen a guy from whatever country that is using one of our modules.
But maybe he's not coming because we are not listening to them. Maybe.
Yes, but we need to. You said we need to make a prioritization. My proposal: listen to members. It's too hard to know who we might listen. We need to listen. It's not so easy. So this gives us at least a less amount of people to listen. We have their mails, we can contact them directly, and so on. So why not?
I think it's not sustainable. We need to have more data, and we need to understand the music outside of the OCA. It's my opinion.
Yes, but then what we need is more members.
Okay, but this is a little bit off track. No, it's okay. Is there any more questions, comments about this? Sorry.
Yes, I had somewhat related question when you were showing the pull request run through. There were some automatic tests, unit tests.
Yes.
And stuff. Where can I check this out? How you set this up? Is it in the forks themselves, or is it?
It's a technical question. It's like it's set up in GitHub by the OCA, so I don't have any information on that.
The main purpose, I mean, what I know as functional, the main purpose of the test is that you can evaluate which result you want to do it, and that runs for every PR. I believe that all the tests are being run. For README, I don't think any test will fail. We shouldn't. But he will add more information.
I think I can answer you. It's true that probably on a README change, it's not needed to do, but it's recommended. Why? Because sometimes Odoo is making changes and so on. So it's not a bad decision. It takes like 5 minutes. It's nothing that you need to do. It's done automatically. So in my opinion, it's not a problem. I mean, I understand that maybe...
That's why I'm asking.
Well, you can ask the developer how to set it up, the test for the modules, but yes. Yeah, I mean, within the OCA, you can add a new module, you can change a behavior, but you can also add test with a PR also, right?
Other questions?
No?
Okay. Thank you. The documentation we used on the website, you can access it with this QR code. So if you want to use it, you have some few seconds to do it. And like we said, we will have a workshop here this afternoon. We will try to work on some modules. So if you want to do your first steps, and if you block somewhere, we will be there to help you. So, and we have a list of modules that we have identified that are really used right now by a lot of people and don't have a correct README, so we want to improve those one first. But if you have your own modules you want to work on, that's okay too.
Exactly.
Thank you.